Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Krystal. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Today I'm going to be talking about Makeup Revolution, and it is a brand that I am not very familiar with. I've always been very interested in trying out their stuff because they're kind of known for having a lot of products that are dupes for more expensive, higher end products. So it's totally a brand that I always have like a ton of their stuff in my cart, and then before I end up checking out, I always end up not getting it for whatever reason. I don't even really know what the reason is. The only thing that I had tried from them is their brow pomade, which I do really like. So this was the first thing that I ever tried from them. But like I said, I've always been really interested in trying out more of their stuff. What made me finally decide to check out some of their stuff is I was on Ulta's website and I noticed that they had a bunch of their palettes that are normally $15. They had them on sale for $3.49. So I mean, you're never going to be able to get a deal better than that. Even when they have Makeup Revolution on sale, I think it's buy one get one half off. So the cheapest you would ever be able to get $15 palettes would have been $7.50. So when they had them on sale for $3.50, I had to get the ones that they had. So what I'm going to be doing in today's video is kind of showing you what all I got. And as I show you each individual thing, I will be going through and letting you know my thoughts about it. And I will also do some swatches for you as well. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started. I have 5 palettes here to talk about with you guys. I have some bronzer, contour, blush, and eyeshadow. I did use these items in my look today. As I'm going through and showing you what is in each palette, I will let you know what I used on my face today. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is the bronzer palette, and it came in a cardboard box like this, and it shows you on the back of the packaging what you're getting. And then when you take it out of the box, this is what the palette looks like. So I do really like the packaging. It's just really simple and sleek. It's got a nice big mirror in there. This is what this palette looks like. And if I flip this down, it's going to show you what is shimmery, what's matte, that kind of stuff. What I have on my face out of this palette is this Top Baked bronzer right here. And I just have that all around my forehead and my hairline and kind of the tops of my cheeks. I'll go ahead and swatch each shade in here for you. So I'm going to put the swatches on the back of my hand. I hope you guys don't mind. I normally do swatches on my arm, but I just put a little bit of self-tanner on, and I don't want to have to keep rubbing at it with makeup wipes because that's going to mess it up. So I can't really give you guys a full review on these products because I have not used like every shade in each palette. Like I said, I just used them in my look today, and that was the first time that I used them. So this is kind of like a first impressions, although I'm not really going to show you a demo of me using the products because I forgot to film that. Wow. Okay, so when you put your fingers in these, first I'll show them to you on my fingers. That's the top row out of this. That's it on my fingers there. It's really weird when you put your fingers in these and you rub them around, they almost feel creamy, like they're that smooth. And that is them right there. Okay, so next I'm going to do the bottom row. That's what those look like. And that is them there swatched out. Like I said before, when I was dipping my fingers into these, they are very smooth. And when I was applying them on my face, they blended very easily. I was actually really impressed because they're very pigmented. Sometimes with bronzer, if it's too pigmented, it can kind of be a bad thing because it gets kind of hard to blend out, as I'm sure you guys know. So after I had swatched a couple of them and saw how pigmented they were, I was a little bit nervous, but I actually really think that it turned out great. I'm looking behind the camera into the mirror that I have behind it, so sorry if I look weird. But I think it really looks nice. It almost just looks really natural, like I was just out in the sun or something. Like it just really looks like a pretty little sun-kissed glow. Okay, and then the next one is this contour palette here. This palette, this was just the straight up packaging right here. It did not come with an outer cardboard box. This was not one of the palettes that was on sale for $3.50. I'll go ahead and let you know all the prices. The very first one that I showed you, the bronzer one, was the $3.49. This contour palette here, its regular price was $15. This one was marked down to $7.50. I'm pretty sure that the reason that all of these were on sale for so cheap is because they're being discontinued. I'm trying to think how long ago it was that I got these. Probably around 3 weeks to a month. And I looked on the Ulta website again, and these are no longer on there. So I'm assuming that they just discontinued these specific individual palettes. But Makeup Revolution has also been coming out with a lot of new bronzer and blush and highlighting palettes recently. So I think a lot of them are just to replace the ones that they discontinued. So I'm really sorry if you guys are interested in these and you can't get your hands on them. I would also try the Makeup Revolution website because I did see some of these on there a while ago. So some of them aren't available on Ulta anymore, but even though they aren't available on the site, if you live by an Ulta, make sure to check in store. Okay, so I will go ahead and do the swatches of this one for you. The one that I am wearing is this one right here. It's just kind of like a mid-tone, kind of on the cooler side. So kind of just your straight up normal contour shade. I just have it on my cheekbones, obviously, and I think it looks good. Not all of these are contour shades. Some of them are shimmery highlights, some of them are matte highlights. So it's basically a contour. It's called Iconic Lights and Contour Pro palette. So that is what they look like there. The sunlight's kind of washing them out. Maybe that's a little bit better. I'll do the bottom row. That is what those look like. Like I said, they're very pigmented. Same thing with this one that I said about the first one, the bronzer palette. Very smooth, very easy to blend, which is very, very nice with contour, because if you get a really deeply pigmented shade and it's not blending out very well, it can kind of be a disaster. Oh, another shade that I used out of this palette is the matte kind of like banana shade highlight here, and I just put that right below where I contoured just to kind of clean up the line a little bit. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but I did use that. Next up, I have two blush palettes. These are them. It's kind of the same thing as the first palette I showed you, the bronzer one. They also come in a cardboard packaging like this. The first one is called Hot Spice, and it's more of a warm tone blush, and then the second one is called Sugar and Spice, and it's more of a cool tone pinky shaded blush palette. So this first, I'll show you the warm toned one first. Like the bronzer one, it comes with the clear sheet over it to tell you what is matte and shimmer and baked. The one out of this palette that I have on my face today is this one here. It's kind of a shimmery coral. Okay, now I'm gonna do this bottom row. The baked ones at the end, they're pretty dang shimmery, so I don't think I would ever really use them as a blush. Might use them as maybe like a blush topper, but more than likely I would probably use them as an eyeshadow. Next we have the cool toned kind of pinky blush palette. Once again, got the sheet letting you know what's up. These are pretty dang bright. These first two are actually pretty neutral, but then we get crazy after that. Those two are almost kind of nudie. But those are crazy. Oh, wow. The last one is pretty purple. Like I said, eyeshadow. Not that I wear purple eyeshadow that often, but definitely wear purple eyeshadow more often than I wear purple blush. Put it that way. Oh my goodness. Same thing with blush that I said about bronzer and contour. Sometimes too pigmented can be a bad thing when it comes to blending it out. Oh my goodness, that second one. Wow, so pretty. Same thing with how the blush applied. It was very pigmented but easy to blend out, which is good. Blushes that are kind of deep in color and don't blend easily can really mess up everything that you already put so much time into on your face. It's really hard to get it to take away after you already put it on your face. A lot of times if I get my blush too pigmented and I want to take away, I will use kind of like a duo fiber or like a stippling brush or something and kind of try to buff it away, but a lot of times you can't really get it to blend away. So these are so pigmented, definitely you want to start with less. You can always pile on more, but definitely tap off the excess, use very light hand, all that good stuff. Those two blush palettes, I can't remember if I said this, they were also $3.49. So bronzer $3.49, contour $7.50, warm blush $3.49, cool blush $3.49. This last one is a Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette. This was not discounted. It was $7, but that is the regular price, so it was not on sale, but $7 for that many eyeshadows is already an amazing deal. And the main reason that I ended up getting this was because you guys know the good old coupons at Ulta are $3 off of a $15 purchase. Well, at the time that I was buying these, I needed to get my total up over 15 so that I could use the $3 off coupon, and I wasn't quite at 15 yet because I bought these at different times. These first four that I showed you, I bought them during two separate purchases. I think the first purchase that I did was only the $3.49 palettes. So after getting 3 of those, I was only at like $10 or $11. So I wanted to be able to use the 3 off 15. So I decided to go with this eyeshadow palette because I've heard a lot of good things about Makeup Revolution's eyeshadows. This is there's 4 different ones. They're called the Reloaded palettes, and this one right here is called Division. And the main reason that I went with this is because supposedly this line of eyeshadow palettes are dupes for like the Anastasia ones. I don't know which particular one this one is a dupe for because I don't have anything Anastasia and too cheap. Let's just be real here. The main reason that I went with this one is because I thought the shade selection on this one was just so unique and interesting. There are a lot of very like unique looking shades in it, especially this one right here. It literally, the only way I can think to describe this is it almost looks like baby poop. Like, I love mustard colored eyeshadow, but this one right here is almost, it's a little bit more green tone than a mustard. It's kind of more like a chartreuse, I guess. I thought that this is the most interesting looking shade out of all of them, but I don't know about you guys, when I get a new eyeshadow palette, I am such a person who goes for neutral tones on my eyes so much that when I get a new eyeshadow palette, I'm automatically drawn to the neutrals because I know that's what I'm gonna wear the most. So even though there are a lot of interesting shades in here that I know that I'm gonna be really excited to play with, the very first look that I did with it was of course neutral. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell. It's just a lot of like warm tone kind of orangey browns on my eyes today. I will let you guys know which shades I am wearing. So this second shade here is what I put in my crease. Then I went in with this one in the corner. Then I went over to this orangey rust shade here, and then I put this in my outer corner. I don't know if you guys can see on camera, I think I blew most of the dust away, but when you dip your brush into this palette, you will kind of get some kickback with it, which made me very nervous because these are very pigmented shadows, and when I get a lot of like dust up on the palette, it makes me really nervous to put it on my eyes because I automatically think it's gonna have tons of fallout. This genuinely surprised me. A lot of powder came up when you can really tell with this shade, when I put my brush in, but then when I put it on my eyes, these were so smooth and blended so well. I had like a very, very minimal amount of fallout underneath my eyes. Like, I'm talking very minimal. I don't know if it's because I took extra special care to kind of tap off my brush because I was seeing so much on the palette. So just be warned, if you guys try any of these out, make sure to do that. But I was very pleasantly surprised that I didn't end up with crap all over my face because it was totally what I expected. I will say that the mattes in this palette intrigue me a lot more than the shimmers. I don't know, you can kind of tell with this shade right here. It's shimmery, but it almost looks kind of chunky. but the mattes are very smooth, very pigmented, so they're quite impressive on the eyes. Like I said, I haven't used all the shades, so I can't really speak for them. I'm gonna do this row by row, so I'm gonna have to use my thumb as a swatch. Oh wow, that first shade is not really that impressive. Another thing I love about this palette is how many shades of olive green there are. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 or 4. Okay, so that first one you can barely see. I'm not impressed at all with that. But then you have these 4, so pretty. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. These are so pretty. Yeah, there's that kind of disappointing color right there. I mean, it's okay, but you know, like I said, the mattes are definitely more of a standout than the shimmers. Wow. There's the baby poop color. These are gorgeous. Wow. That last shade is very interesting. It's, is that black? It's weird. Like it's so dark it looks black, but then when you look at it in certain lighting, it looks like a very, 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 very dark green. So I'm not quite sure. Either way, it's extremely pretty. Okay, so that is it for the swatches. All in all, these palettes are very, very impressive for the price. Like I said before, I didn't see these on the Ulta website anymore, so it's kind of disappointing that you guys can no longer get them for that $350 price. Like I said, not all the palettes were that. But here's the thing, like I said, if you can find these on the Makeup Revolution website, even full price, if you had to pay full price for these palettes, I still say they're worth it. It was great that I got them for such an amazing deal, but these are such high quality, higher end product dupes that I feel that even if you had to pay $15 for each of these, or you know, $7 for the eyeshadow palette, that is a very, very reasonable price, especially when you break down how many different items are in each palette. You get 15 eyeshadows for $7. I mean, that's awesome. Then you have a palette like this that has 8 shades in it. So even though these particular ones that I got, I'm pretty sure are discontinued, if I were to use them up and not be able to get my hands on them again, if I loved them that much, yeah, that would be disappointing. But so many different ones of the like newer edition stuff that they release are so similar. A lot of them are the same formula. You can't really go wrong. So I'm really glad that I got my hands on these when I did for the price that I did, because it really made me fall in love with this brand, which I was already pretty sure that I was gonna do, just because I had heard so many good things about them. So I am extremely excited to continue using these and try out each individual shade in each different palette. Like I said, this video can't really be a full review, because in a review I like to try each individual shade several times over to make sure that I am giving an in-depth opinion. But this is kind of more like a first impressions, letting you guys know that from the very first time that I used these, I am already extremely impressed, and I most definitely think it is something that everyone should try. So if you are not able to get your hands on these specific ones, if you can find something similar, or even if you can't find anything similar, I would recommend this brand as a whole, just kind of in general. They're so cheap. You can get, like I said before, you can get them when they're on sale at Ulta. You can get them buy one, get one half off. I cannot say enough good things about this brand. I think it's so cool that they kind of are so inspired by higher end products, but they're catering to people who either can't afford to buy those products or just straight up don't want to spend that much money, which that's totally like right up my alley, because I can be very cheap about so many different things. So out of all the palettes that I got, one of the ones that I'm most excited about is this eyeshadow, because I was very, very impressed with the mattes in here. They are amazing quality, and I'm really glad I got it because I almost didn't. Like I said, I only got it to be able to use the coupon. The reason why I almost passed it up is because I have not been wearing eyeshadow like at all lately. It was kind of like the one step in my makeup routine that I could kind of cut out to, you know, get it to where I wasn't always spending like 2 hours on my makeup, because I'm a firm believer that your face makeup is the most important. So I have been doing nothing on my eyes lately except putting bronzer and blush in the crease. I mainly got started doing that when I heard Alex Garza talking about how it is a kind of a hack to get your makeup routine minutes down, because I hate when you do like a full face of makeup and then you put nothing on your eyes, because your face really does kind of look incomplete. So I just kind of swipe some foundation with a brush across my eyes, and then after I'm done doing my concealer, I had just been taking a big fluffy crease brush, throwing some bronzer and blush in the crease, and calling it a day after I put my mascara on. It really is like a pretty summer look, because obviously anytime you put bronzer on your eyes, it's just gonna add to that kind of like tanned skin feel. And I had always kind of done that, but it wasn't until I heard Alex talking about putting blush on your eyes that I started doing that, and that just kicks the whole look up a notch, because you get even more of a sun-kissed glow appearance, because when you put blush on your eyes, it gives you just way more of that fresh out of the sun feel, because it's more like a flush, like you're a little bit burned. So I really like the eyeshadow that I did with the palette today. Like I said before, I've been so rarely wearing eyeshadow that it's become almost like a special occasion thing when I do. The last time that I wore eyeshadow, I think, was on my birthday. But I'm really loving this look with all the different warm tones on my eyes. Then I threw some coral gloss on my lips, and I just think it is like the perfect sun-kissed summer glow look. Like I said, I put some self-tanner on earlier today, threw on these kind of like straw wicker earrings, a white flowy tank top. It's just like the very definition of a summer look. So really glad that I got the eyeshadow palette, because like I said, I almost did not, because of the standard basic look that I've been putting on my eyes lately, which is next to nothing. So anyways guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope that you guys found it interesting and helpful. If you guys have been interested at all to try out Makeup Revolution, maybe you tried a couple of their products and have been interested to kind of try out a lot more from them, I hope this kind of gave you the motivation that yes, you need to. Definitely, they're very impressive. Like I said, I can't speak to every product that they put out. I'm sure there's duds. I mean, I've found some duds in even my most favorite brands. Not everyone can be good at everything, but for the most part, I'd say that if you try out something from this brand, there's going to be a pretty good chance that you're going to like it, and if not, you can always return it. That's the beauty of it. So I am very excited to keep using these products, and I am sure I will be buying a ton more from Makeup Revolution after trying out these and being so impressed. So they definitely get my seal of approval and my high recommendation for you guys to try out. So that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. If you would like to be notified when I post a new video, you can always turn on the post notifications, and apparently YouTube just wants to keep adding to the things that we have to say in our videos. Apparently now I have heard that not only do you have to turn on the little bell post notification, but you have to check always. Like, you always want to be notified when that particular person uploads. So whatever. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what your favorite Makeup Revolution product is. And like I said, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.